So the finale of Doctor Who has been and gone, fizzled out like a wet fart, pretty bad. We've also got the ratings. We've got the ratings, the viewership. We've got the ratings. We've also got the box office figures because it was shown in theatres as well. We've got the comparison between other box office of other Doctor Who's that were shown in theatres, and it's really bad. Like, it's appalling. So Doctor Who TV, great source of all things Doctor Who. Obviously, they love Doctor Who, so this is a pretty biased to positive source. So we've got the figures here again, real bad, like just absolutely appalling. So 225 million tuned in to the finale. Now, you might say, hey, but all those people that went out to the theatres, they might have watched it in the theatres. Sorry, what?
No, they didn't.
£364,000.
Is that a lot for the UK?
No, that's absolutely appalling. Or by comparison, the last thing shown in theatres, the 50th anniversary special, had £1.8 million 11 years ago. So adjust it for inflation. Holy shit.
That's like 3 million, 4 million.
Real bad. Real bad. If you average, because I went and looked at some of the comments down below here, some people are like, oh, you know, it was around, what people paid was around between 15, 17 and 8. So even if you average it out at 10 pounds, I mean, it's like 36,000 people went out. So it's 36,000 views on top of this, I guess, if you're being super generous. That's awful. That's real bad.
You know what I love to add into this? Because I don't think these are, this is just the BBC's numbers.
Yeah, but that is, so these are the overnights. So we don't, yeah. Yes, it is.
Because I love to point out that since they added Disney Plus and all that stuff to the mix, they actually have a broader viewing audience, but they have less viewers.
Yes, but this is so the interesting.
But this is just the UK numbers, I bet. Yeah,
exactly. So they don't. Disney Plus doesn't have Doctor Who in the UK, so this is the core audience, and they still not bothering to watch it in the UK. But the figures in the States, they've not even hit on any of the charts yet. So they're not on the Nielsen's charts. They're not there at all. Woeful. So unfortunately, Culture, it didn't go sub 2 million.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed about that because you and I had speculated that it would. But again, I mean, it was the last episode, and it was aptly named about the death of an empire, right? Empire of Death. But anyway, look, when we get these other numbers, I think they're going to be woefully low. And I think you were right in your video that you did. I was going to follow up and do a video, but I just ran out of energy. I think you're right. It's going to add 1.4 million, still fall below 4 million once it's all said and done. And everybody that watched it is going to be like, oh, all right. Now, you know, whether or not there's football on or not, and for my American friends, that's soccer to us. But anyway, whether or not there's football on or not, you still had a core fan base way back in the day that would watch this. There's zero reason that these numbers can't climb over 4 million after a week. And, you know, as you know, Mr. H just pointed out, here in the States, we're not seeing viewership on this thing. I mean, it's low. And then you've got, well, obviously you brought up the theater numbers. There's just nothing good here. And the funniest thing is, between the Radio Times and IGN and all these other outlets that are like, oh, this is exactly the kickstart that the show needed. Blah, 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 blah. What? This is the lowest rated finale in the history of Doctor Who. Well, here you go.
Yes, real bad. Again, 11 years ago, 1.8 million, the 50th anniversary.
You guys have inflation over there?
Yeah, real bad inflation. Yeah.
All right. So 1.8 million pounds would be what in today's like poundage?
A lot.
Poundage. I said poundage. Anyway, the point being is 300,000 poundage. That's not good poundage. I mean, that's not that is not OnlyFans poundage. Back in the day, you got some OnlyFans poundage. Here, not so much.
Yeah, 364,000 is awful. I mean, there were images floating around of empty theaters as well, which is hilarious. So,
Oh,
but yeah, people are arguing because they're like, "Oh, it's not fair to compare them. The 50th anniversary special had far greater significance than the Doctor Who finale. I personally wasn't motivated for exactly that reason." I'd agree. It's not fair to compare them.
Oh,
for the
shit,
reason
they're
that the
twice
ticket
as
price
much.
for 50th anniversary were around £12 at the time compared to £25 for Empire of Death. Day of the Doctor did 6 times better numbers with tickets at half the price. So, didn't Russell T Davies himself call you a see you next Tuesday? I think I can manage to get Peter Capaldi to call you a see you next Tuesday as well. I'm sure he would think you are if he knew of your stupid little existence. Blatant lie. I've already met Capaldi, but I can't seem to recall call him here. See you next Tuesday. I love how people are getting like really antsy just about providing numbers. Super, super funny.
Wow.
Super funny. I love this. Touch grass.
I
Because that's the
hey,
thing, right?
I have to tell you, when you touch grass, you don't watch bad television.
Yeah.
It resets your clock.
So bad.
Very bad.
So bad. 11 years ago to 1.8 million now. Nah, ridiculous. Great image as well. Great image. So it's dead. And again, viewership ratings came in for the the previous episode 2.2 million, 3.5. It's really consistent. There's 1.5, 1.4 million. And I said that's really suspect, and someone tried to argue with me. I was like, no, it's as it is so consistent, it is really suspect. I stand by that. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre how consistent it is. You'd expect some fluctuations, but there's none. There's no fluctuations. It's really consistent. That's weird. That's super weird.
Yep. It's almost like, you got a bunch of bots, 1.4 million of them that watch this 7-day screen.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's not much else really to say. I will miss doing videos on this, but what'll be fascinating, and I've said this in another video I did, is that we've got raw data now to start comparing it to other things. So we've got the Christmas special coming up. So that'll be fascinating to compare it to the previous Christmas special, because people they didn't know what they were getting, really, did they? Now they know what they're getting. They know the stories aren't going to pay off. They know that the things that they tease aren't going to go anywhere. So I think you'll see significant reduction on viewership moving forward, even from this now. I genuinely do believe that. Do you believe that? No one's going to jump in. Culture? No.
I'm going to say this. I don't think you'll have anybody watching the holiday special. I think it'll be half as much as it was.
You will have people watch.
Okay, sure. I was qualifying it. I think it'll have half as much as the previous holiday special.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see.
I like I said, I'm still surprised this thing was hovering at 2 million. That tells you something, though, right? 2 million
retards in the UK.
Yeah. You have 2 million people who don't know how to turn their television from channel to channel.
Woke yeah.
No. I think they just fell asleep.
No, woke guys.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I just love watching that Rwandan gay guy crying on TV.
Well, how many Rwandans are in the UK? Okay. How many Rwandans are in the UK? I don't know.
Fucking too many, mate. At the moment, too many. Anyway, Lex Kane for £5. The Disney Who finale was such a copy of Last of the Time Lords, Stargate movie, Mummy, and Avengers Infinity War. RTD just killed Doctor Who.
Oh,
R.I.P.
I'm so sorry, Lex. Man.
And says further, would love to see Crow.
Yeah.
1983 in 4K.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
The weird thing is I think there is a 4K scan out there of Krull and has been for years. I don't know why Sony is just sitting on it. Yeah. I don't know if there's an anniversary they're waiting for or what, but they did a re-release in theaters like 2 years ago. And yeah, there's been a 4K scan ever since. So I don't know.